which was a nice transition into the character. What did you think of taking on Shuichi? Like, was it a harsh shift for you at first? Like, especially after feeling so strongly connected to Kaede from the first part of the game?
So chapter 2 now, we've got Suichi, we've got a whole new character, a whole new set of problems. Heartbroken, doesn't know what to think. It's almost a good new first chapter for him.
Yeah, you could almost argue that if we have a pre-prologue and an actual prologue, that chapter 1 is the post-prologue, and then chapter 2 is the actual start of the game.
Having the beginning with Kaito come in and kind of like, clench your teeth, Kamina punch to Suichi, really kind of like set those two characters as kind of like a Gurren Lagann-esque Shimon Kamina duo.
What was your impression of Kaito before chapter 2?
I thought Kaito had a huge thing for Kaede.
Oh, really? I thought he was just an asshole.
Oh, no. I thought he was just jealous. Like,
interesting.
It was, it looked like he wanted to be helpful, but he could also kind of like feel like he understood his own limitations and realized that if he tried to help, he would probably just get in the way more. So I think he just felt bad.
Oh, because I don't know how much you talked to Kaito during case 1, but like whenever like I had an interaction with him, he came off like arrogant, which is weird because for the rest of the game he never comes back to that.
Well, yeah, because you're a guy. You were Kaede. He was trying to show off the luminary of the stars.
Oh shoot! You know what? That's a good point. That's a solid justification. I'll accept that. Kaito's just that kind of guy, right? Who would just value his male camaraderie over a girl that he may or may not like, and trying to get a connection with, but because he's so over his head and the luminary of the stars, his ego is something he just can't get past. But it's something he works on through the game. Kaito's got a really good character arc in V3. But anyway, case 2. Where should we start with case 2? So
the motive videos. I remember sending you a message during the first case. I'm like, oh, I'm a little sad there's no motive videos.
and then we get them, and of course, was it Monofani who messed it up again? The distribution of the videos.
I think she and Monotaro were working on it, like working together on it. I think they both screwed up
because, of course, it's the Mono Cubs. Yeah, and then we start to then we get to know Gonta a little better, and Kokichi a little better, because Kokichi steals uses Gonta to steal the videos from everyone else.
The Great Bug Meetup. I really appreciated Angie and Himiko's role in that. Angie ever the optimist, and Himiko ever the, oh, this is a bad idea.
I could solve it if I only use my magic, but I don't have any mana right now.
It's hard to restore MP in a school.
Yeah, I'd agree. And no shadows to defeat. It's pretty tough.
I believe Kyo was also there. Wasn't Kyo and Samugi there as well?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, the only ones that got away were Ryoma, who... I just want to stop and say I love Ryoma's character, and his voice actor is perfect.
He did go a little quicker than I would expect. Was that a spoiler for Chapter 3?
No, he's the Chapter 2 victim.
Oh, he is the Chapter 2 victim. Hey, well, there we go. A great segue into that. Yeah, so after the whole bug debacle, we get the magic show that Angie puts on with Himiko. And like their relationship was a nice one, actually, like at first, because like it was a little one-sided, because like I felt like Angie was taking advantage of Himiko at points, but Himiko was actually motivated to do things for once.
I really enjoyed the magic show in itself. Tinko, like, her character was a little too much, too loud for me, if that makes any sense. Like,
she was
it kind of got annoying.
She was too Asahina without the soft side of Asahina.
Okay, yeah, I could pick up on that.
Like that was sort of, yeah, that was my problem with her too. She was just a little too one note with her degenerate males.
Yeah, that's the one noteness of it was the worst part.
Yeah. By chapter 3, I actually liked her character more and learning more about her. But yeah, chapter 2, and like, what did she see in Himiko? Like, was it literally just the fact that Himiko was a cinnamon roll and that was it?
Maybe she's just got a thing for lilies. I don't know.
Tinko
clearly fights for the other team.
Yeah, for sure. But they were sort of like straddling the line. I'm like, I don't know if she's just like obsessed with Himiko as a friend or if she's genuinely interested. Like, if she's genuinely interested, fine. Like, I want to see more indicators of that. But by the end of the chapter, I couldn't really tell.
Nah, the magic show is quickly overtaken by the vicious piranha murder, which yes. I never would have said. Oh, hey, remember in Danganronpa when the piranhas ate that guy completely?
But it was coming. Like, everyone knew that by the time the curtains opened, someone was gonna die. And yeah, it was Ryoma. But, like, come on, what else is the ultimate tennis player gonna do in a Danganronpa game? Like, he had to go.
Who really never actually plays any tennis at all, unless it's in one of the side things.
Oh, yeah. What do you think of the backstory of Ryoma, though? Like, the fact that he's got this pretty tragic backstory.
So, all of his family was killed Punisher style, so he takes revenge by using his tennis skills to kill the mafia.
Like, I think that's why they couldn't really make him either, like they make him a murderer in Danganronpa, is because you already have that, and like you can't really top that at the end of the day. So yeah.
What about his motive video where it's like, I'm sorry, Ryoma, you have no one waiting for you in the outside world?
Well, that was just depressing. It's like,
wasn't it so depressing?
Yeah, and like, usually whoever's in charge of making the motive videos, and like ever since Juko Enoshima, well, it's always Juko Enoshima.
Always.
She always finds some dirt on these characters. Doesn't matter who you are. You're not safe from Junko. And yeah, the fact that like Ryoma had no one, I'm like, man, this is such a bummer. Like, I feel for this guy.
But Kokichi really does steal the show, and a lot of every part.
He steals the game.
Man, he's such a shitlord, and like every time you come up with something in the case, and then you get to the trial, and it's like, no, dude, stop! You're in the way. No, I know you didn't do it. Let me get to the you're so damn endearing.
Yeah, right. And his voice actor, who I looked up the other day, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Wow, just perfect casting. I'm like, man, he's got that perfect trollish, kiddish voice, but he's so smartly written. Like, you can't. Oh god, like I was torn so much about Kokichi. I love the kid, but I love to hate him more. But I also love the kid. But yeah, chapter 2, we get to the case. And we have the whole trial.
Just a heads up. His voice actor is Derek Stephen Prince, who is also Kazuryu from 2.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he actually comes back, which is great. Yeah, geez. Chapter 2's case. I don't know. Should we jump right to the murder? The murderer?
What did you think about the introduction of the items and the flashback flashlight?
Oh, the flashback flashlight. I thought it was weird that like the mastermind or whoever is behind the killing game is actively giving these characters their memory back, because that's not in the previous games. That's something the characters always had to investigate for themselves or fight for. This is the first time when, whoever's behind all this is like, no, here you go. And like, because it felt like it wasn't benefiting the mastermind at all. Like it almost felt like they wanted the characters to get their memories back slowly. I don't know. What did you think of it?
I felt like it never gave you enough information for it to feel valid. It was always just a tease of something bigger, and it never, kind of like in Danganronpa 1, whenever like you're right, they investigate everything and then they find the hidden part of the school, and they find all the big files. It's like none of that really happens in this game, and especially nothing that comes out of like needing those memories.
Right. Actually, on that point, not to tangent for a bit, but like the layout for this school was probably one of the most inventive layouts in Danganronpa. Like the first game was a school, and it was a typical school, and you had some hidden areas here and there. Second game, you had the island. It was an island, creepy island, but it was an island. This game, they really managed to bring the school to life. Like every single floor, every single room, it felt so unique and memorable.
I loved breaking open the secret things, because it's like, here's an ocarina, here's the dragon sphere, here's like the key from Shining Force. I don't know. They're all video game items. I could name over half of the items that those games were from.
Here is a literal Dragon Ball.
And it's like, what are you giving me? It's great. I loved it.
It was so good. So in line with Danganronpa. We should mention that all of the pop culture references to this game are 100% on point. The Sonic the Hedgehog reference, taking the cake, of course.
Some of Samugi's references I got, and then I feel bad that I understood those. I'm like, oh, I know what that's from.
I was going to say, a lot of them went over my head, but while I was playing the game, I'm like, Zarek would know.
Zarek wouldn't know.
Oh, man. The flashback lights. It was a weird introductory thing, but like, I was like, okay, something's gonna happen here. Don't know what yet, but something.
That case, though, man. That case had a very inventive way, and I felt good that I was able to kind of figure out how the murder was done beforehand.
Interesting. Did you know who the murderer was? Who did you
Not the least.
Initially?
No one. I did not even figure it out. It all through it. I'm like, man, I don't know who could have possibly done this at all. I just know how it was done.
Yeah, like this was a difficult. The case itself made a lot of sense. I was like, okay, yeah, so they did this, they did that, but like, still, who did it? Who pulled this all off? And the fact that it's Kirumi, first off, I liked Kirumi a lot. I was hoping to build more of a relationship with her throughout the game.
She's like the perfect like motherly figure for the game.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that she's one who, I mean, once you find out her motive, it's like, okay, she was doing the whole need of the many outweighs the needs of the few. So
that's still pretty rough though, but I never would have guessed that her motive was, she's actually the prime minister of the country.
Yeah, who was tasked with making this country great again.
When
that line came up, I was like, oh, wow, this translation team must have had a blast with this game.
Fuck the Knicks, we're Jets fans.
Yeah.
Like, Monosuke, what?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, man.
Apparently, they actually had to get 4 different translation teams on this game because it has so much dialogue.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest, but god damn, that is quite a lot.
That is quite a lot. But this case goes by pretty smoothly, if I remember. I think it isn't until the very, after the middle part, because at first they're really set on it being Himiko, but you know it's not Himiko.
No, because that'd be too obvious for Danganronpa.
That would be way too obvious.
What did you think of Kurumi's selection of the person she would kill? And her motivation for doing so?
It seemed to be the most sensical. But when you think about the fact that everyone else would have died afterwards, it doesn't really make it that much better.
Yeah, that's true. It's like it was more of a means to an end sort of thing. It's like, look, I'm gonna have this death on my conscience. The other deaths are just a consequence of everything else. But it means I can get out there and save the world again. So, like, man, her story is
Karumi
pretty
Tojo is
tragic.
going to build that wall, Will.
Yeah,
The wall that'll keep despair out.
I feel like her interpretation of making the country great again would be a little different, you know?
Gotcha. She's gonna go play golf. Cool. All right.
Not to get overly political with case 2 of this game. But yeah, that was pretty much it in a nutshell. And again, this was another kill sort of in line with Kaede's, in the sense that this kill wasn't to graduate for, you know, the character's own selfish reasons. This was a kill to get out and, like, save people. Like, she still did it with somewhat good intention, even though it was still, you know, a horrible thing to do.
When they're cheering her on to escape, you almost want to cheer with her, but that was a pretty bad death.
Because you know she's not going to escape.
Oh no.
Yeah. No one escapes a Monokuma death. Well, actually, it's funny that's brought up, but we'll talk about that later.
Well, in Danganronpa 1,
Naegi does escape. The execution chamber. Yeah, but because there's a glitch
that wasn't
in
a
the
real
system.
case anyway.
Yeah. Anyhow, any other thoughts on chapter 2?
No, chapter 2 kind of just ends there, but if I remember, it also leaks that Maki is not the ultimate child giver, if I remember correctly, right?
Ooh, is this when it happens? Yes, it's either at the end of chapter 2 or the beginning of chapter 3, but I feel like it's the end of chapter 2. Yeah.
Where Kokichi rats her out as the ultimate assassin.
Mm-hmm. Oh, because he saw her video. Was that right?
I think it was, yeah, because he got to peek at everyone's videos.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. A little behind the scenes. If my memory seems hazy on some of these details, it's because I played the game. I think I beat the game like a week or 2 weeks before Zarek did, so my memory's not as fresh as Zarek's. But yeah,
I'll be glad to remind you.
yeah. No. It's quite a game. So yeah, that's pretty much how chapter 2 ends.